for B submit by. Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. Rotary International President Mark Daniel Maloney's theme for this year asks us Rotarians to strengthen the many ways that Rotary connects the world, building the connections that allow talented, thoughtful, and generous people to unite and take meaningful action through Rotary service. Our club demonstrates every day how we are living President Maloney's mission with our local and international service projects through unity, connections, and action. My name is Jacqueline Thornhill, and I am honored to serve as the 97th president of the greatest Rotary Club in the world. On this day in TV history in 1967, Doc Severinsen replaced Skitch Henderson as the musical director for The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. In music history, in 1962, the BBC banned the song Monster Mash by Bobby Boris Pickett. I don't know what's going on there. In U.S. president history in 2002, the U.S. Congress passed a resolution that gave U.S. President George W. Bush the authority to use military force if necessary against Iraqi President Saddam Hussein. And the quote from the day comes from Howard Hughes. "I am not a paranoid, deranged millionaire. Damn it, I'm a billionaire." Our invocation will be led by Chase Carter.
Please join me in a moment of reflection and thanks with these words. With our friends beside us and no person between us, with the bonds of Rotary between us and our worries behind us, with our goals before us and no task beyond us, with a thirst for knowledge and a dream of a polio-free world, we are thankful for our Rotary friends and the meal we are about to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Chase. Our song leader today is President-elect Richard Jost.
I can lip sync. We'll try a challenging one this week. We'll try the Star Spangled Banner. But we'll take it up about, or down, maybe 3 or 4 octaves so the men in the group can sing. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Well done. I didn't see a single man glaring at me.
And how about the fact that that was My Country 'Tis of Thee instead of the Star-Spangled Banner? Thank you for your $97 contribution to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Past President Steve Linder. Are you ready to rock and roll, Steve? Okay, International Rotarians, I know we have one of those. Murray has returned. Everyone give your attention, please. Oh, Steve. Boy, I got fines all over the place today.
I have to find the sergeant at arms busy over there in the corner. Well, guess what? It's snowing in Canada, and so we have Murray back for at
Welcome
least
back, Murray.
at least until it stops snowing up there. No, actually, he came here to watch hockey. The Bruins picked. Oh, guys.
Well, I didn't come to see the Bruins win, but I got out of the cold, and I mean cold, because about 3 weeks ago we had about 14 inches of snow, and it remained in the minuses. So we're scraping windows every morning just blowing the snow off your vehicle. So last week the sun came out and went up to what's about 80 degrees, so most of the snow is gone. And then I left Sunday morning, and by the time I got to Idaho Falls, looked at my cameras at the house, and there's already 3-4 more inches of snow on my truck. So I'm always excited about coming here. The weather's always great here, and the nights will do well. I'm not too worried. Thanks.
Yeah, neither are we.
We have great weather for you to play golf. Enjoy.
Okay, introduction of visiting Rotarians. Visiting Rotarians, raise your hand, please. Visiting Rotarians. No visiting Rotarians? Guests of Rotarians. Raise your hand. Guests of Rotarians.
Hello, Michael Gordon. First of all, let me say it's so great to see that the Rugby World Cup, even past President Steve Linder here is wearing his rugby jersey. And past President Jim Cole injured his ankle in his game, so it's good to see that rugby is here. But I wanted to introduce my guest for the club today, Chini, who was my colleague at the Education Foundation.
Welcome other guests of Rotarians. Over here.
Thank you, Past President Steve. Today it's my privilege to introduce again, number 2 time, Susan Ciadella. She's an account executive, personal lines from Cragen and Pike. And I think you better tell us what you're going to do here. But it's good to have you today anyway.
Okay, thank you. Other guests of Rotarians.
Hello, my name is Mike Chobanian. I'm here with Deb, and thank you for having me. Second time here, and just looking around. Thank you.
Welcome. Other guests of Rotarians?
Hi, I'd like to introduce my guest from Concrete Accessories, Inc., 48-year-old family-owned business in Las Vegas, Lindsay Christiansen, David Bloomquist. They have been my client for a couple years. They are very, very involved in the construction industry in this city. I'd encourage you to say hi.
Okay, other guests?
Well, my name is Bob, just in case you forgot. And today is my wife, my wonderful wife of many years. It's her annual visit is in October, because that's when we have our laugh from this guy in the back. That's when we get our anniversary visit. And I'm required to take her out to a really good dining room. So Lowry's got a good. Anyway, that's why I bring her here. The other thing is that past President Karen usually has a lot of advice for her, but this time she didn't have any. So I went ahead and just bought my wife a present, an anniversary present, and here it is. A diamond! Here you go, honey.
Nice. How many years, Bob?
Well, I know it's going to be hard to believe because she really doesn't look it, but it's 46 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so Do I get any credit for that? You know, just think what she does to me. I'm so much nicer now.
Okay, any other guests of Rotarians? Guests?
Hey, Bob. The four-way test, number one, is it the truth?
Okay, I'd like to introduce my head table. I have Janet Linder, Arlene Sarah, and Lieutenant Kimberly Rudger from Metro, who will be our speaker today. Let's welcome all our visiting Rotarians and guests. I would like to thank the Rotarians who helped today set up Kathy Mahan, greeters Brian Sorrentino and Andy Kuniyuki. Invocation was led by Chase Carter. Our song leader, President-elect Richard Jost. Teardown will be Michael Williams and Walt Parrish. Our Sergeant-at-Arms is past President Steve Linder. The scribe is Jamel. Photographer, as always, past President Jim Tucker. Tickets, Marie Walsh and John Injemy. All things technical are Kirk Holmes and Stu Lipoff, and Facebook and Instagram is now Aaron Overton. People of Action campaign is still in full swing, so please send your People of Action photos to me. A reminder about your monthly and quarterly contributions to our Rotary Foundation that helps fund our many projects. Pilot program for the new RI International project, Together We Read, will be winding down on November 1st. We've gathered all the resources, we've sent them to the district, and they will be forwarded on to RI for the next phase. International Convention, once again in Hawaii, 6th through 10th of June next year. Register early, and remember the attendance is limited. Weekly membership drive. We have nothing to report this week, although we did have a nice orientation the other night. And please remember to recycle your wheels and tickets. And now I'd like to call forward Chan Lam, please. Welcome back, Chan. Back from your world travels. Well, last week we had the 100% attendance, and you weren't here, but I'm giving you 1 year of perfect service. I couldn't ask Gimpy to come up here and do it. Well, thank you very much. You're done. Okay, Steve, please take the microphone to Shannon Brown for a report from Beckley.
Well, good afternoon, all my favorite Rotarians. How are you guys today? So I'm super happy to be here. First of all, the last time I chatted with you guys, I wanted to make sure we got more Rotarians out to our Breakfast with Books, and I am so proud to say I got to see a bunch of new faces that have not come out there before. So Brian, where are you? Put your little hand up. There he is, right there. He was new first time. Love having him. Want to have him coming. There were a few others. Rose was there, who I know is not here today. I want to keep seeing more of your faces, you guys. Our families and our kiddos really do appreciate all of the support that you provide them during our Breakfast with Books. So come on out. Quick announcement. I want to thank everybody who brought in candy to help support our Harvest Festival. Our largest fundraiser for our school is this Harvest Festival that will be happening next Friday, October 18th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. If any of you guys would even like to come over during the day starting at noon to help us set stuff up, please feel free to do so. If anybody did not bring candy to drop off here, please come on down to Beckley. I'd love to see your beautiful faces. I will take as much candy and sodas and water and anything that you would like to bring. But thank you so much for all of your support. I can't wait to see more of your faces at Breakfast with Books, guys. Thanks again.
Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate it. Has Miss Calvo arrived? Okay. Go ahead and take a break for fellowship. So, 1, 2, 3, go.
Not my normal travel path.
Oh, you're doing official work.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I like your shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
That's very cool.
Finally cooled off enough that I could wear it.
When did you serve? What, did you serve? When?
Went to the Naval Academy at 65 to 69.
Uh-huh.
Was commissioned in the Marine Corps in 69.
Oh, wow.
And was 9 years on active duty.
Wow.
And 11 in the reserves.
So you were in Vietnam and all that?
No, I didn't go over there. I was in flight school and on the verge of going over there, but they canceled all of the orders for people. That was in 1972. They canceled the orders, and so I went to Texas to be a flight instructor.
Wow.
So I missed it, but
thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
But I had a great time flying jets in the Marine Corps. It was really cool.
I can't imagine there's a lot of jobs on the planet more fun than that. Seriously.
I agree.
Yeah. My gosh.
I don't believe it. CenturyLink generated a bill to us for 83 cents. And how much do you suppose it cost them to generate that bill?
No.
And how much is it going to cost them to cash our check?
Process.
Process.
Yeah.
I think it costs...
You can't have a balance on the account. Can't have it. I know. It's crazy.
I mean, at that point, I think somebody would have enough common sense to say, you know what,
this is
write off.
Yeah.
Write it off.
But, was it Mark Twain? W.C. Fields? Who was it that said common sense isn't very?
I think that was W.C. Fields.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to that.
Yes.
Yeah. W.C. Fields also said, I went to Philadelphia once, but it was closed.
Hey, take it easy over there.
30 feet or so. Yeah, easy does it.
Yeah. You want me to put them over here for you?
But it allows you to get rid of those rocky areas, that don't have the grass. Well, I found out that the only people that can buy it is the homeowner education. So I lost interest after that. I just didn't want somebody being able to buy the backyard. There's only one that can buy it.
That looks good.
Well, that's interesting. So you and I both were in college for the same 4 years.
Okay.
But you were smart enough to know if you're going to go in the Navy, you might as well let them pay for your college.
Yeah.
I paid for my own college and then started law school. And that was, of course, at the time that
I'm sorry.
we decided that no more deferrals for graduate students.
Okay.
So that's when I joined the Navy and wound up being an officer and a gentleman.
It was neat.
Yes, thank you.
Or at least an officer. I'm not sure that.
My only downside was the school was
4
so
years.
far from my house. It was like 45 minutes travel.
Well, I did.
To get there?
I was in anti-submarine warfare.
Rush hour
so
and all that.
I'm
I'm
stationed
in
at a
far west Summerlin.
SOSA station in the
up against the Red
Caribbean on
Rocks. So
Grand
it
Kirk
was a
Island.
hike. Other than that, it was really, really good.
And then
Thank you. I think we gave away, I don't know, 350 bucks or something like that.
Argentinian
And
Newfoundland.
the room, the cafeteria or whatever was full.
Newfoundland.
And I believe the
Yeah, that
kids
was
have to show up early
That was,
in
you know,
order
obviously
to do that.
I would never have
And it's
wound
pretty
up
hard
in
getting the
Newfoundland
kids to
otherwise.
go anywhere early.
Yeah,
So
I
for
would
them
think
to
so.
get that kind of
But that
turnout,
was,
right,
that
the
was
kids
quite
are really
the
into it.
experience.
Did anybody want some?
We just came back.
Richard, did you want some?
From a cruise?
Thank you.
Good, good.
Canadian cruise and New England.
Oh yeah.
Quebec. Around.
Very, very neat.
Stopped at Prince Edward Island. Sydney. Which
If
is,
you wanted to get involved in it, I don't know
Scotia.
how much time you have.
Is that Nova Scotia? Okay.
But last year,
And Halifax.
and I know they're always
Nova
looking,
Scotia.
I did Books and Buddies,
And
which I thought was Breakfast with Books. It's not. Yeah. This is,
And then
you
St.
get
John.
you get a couple kids to work with
Portland,
every
Maine.
week for a year.
Boston,
And they're,
Newport, Rhode Island, and ended up in New York City.
they have some sort of deficiency in
So you were in
reading.
St. John, New
They're
Brunswick,
not up to level.
St. John, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have to see what you can do with them and get them enthused and trying
So
harder.
there's another.
It was
And they told us when we were in New
That's what I
Brunswick,
did
they
last
said
year. The kids were great.
St. John.
One of them, I
Newfoundland
think, was
is
dyslexic,
St. John's,
undiagnosed.
right? Yeah.
And, you know, I talked to the proctor from
Yeah.
Spread the Word Nevada, who
So
puts the
you
whole thing
spent
on.
most of your
And I'm
4
like,
years in
hey, this
Argentina?
kid, she's like, I know. And I go, is there anything we can do? And
I
they
spent
said,
1 year,
"Not
the
outside.
first year,
We're just here as support. And I'm like, wow, okay. You know,
Because they
so
didn't have a
what can I
slot
do? So
in
we had some
OCS.
techniques that helped him read a little bit
so
better.
first I spent,
Putting a ruler
I
underneath
went in
each
as a white
line,
hat.
because he would skip
is
around.
that
went
right?
through
Super
basic
bright kid.
training.
Wow.
The girl I
And then
had,
They sent me to
I don't know what the heck.
Bainbridge,
She was
Maryland
so
for
far off
radio
level.
school.
She was in 4th grade.
And
Read about maybe
when I was
kindergarten,
there,
1st grade level, maybe. Didn't know
found
anything
out that the
about anything.
Navy had a
Asked her
program
questions
with
about
Harvard Law
animals in the
School
pictures. She had no
where
idea.
if
I
you
mean, it
volunteered
wasn't like she.
for duty
No.
on a boomer,
She's English speaking.
Yeah.
Harvard Law School would send you
Unbelievable.
16 millimeter
And I'm like, and again, I talked to my proctor,
of
and I'm like,
classes the year before
what do I do? And
at
she's
Harvard
like,
Law School, which you would
I'm
watch
just worried.
during
What
the
did she
6
do
months
as-
you were under the water.
How does she get to 4th grade? I don't know what you do, but at some point she's going to be out of school
And then
and in
during the 6
society.
months
I don't
you're
know
up,
what you do with somebody like that.
when
Crazy.
school was in session, you would attend
So then I thought all the
classes at
kids were like
Harvard.
that. I'm like, oh my God,
And you did
this
that?
is school.
I
This is
thought-
how bad it is. It's not.
I'm not real keen
Because
on
if
the
one of my
idea
kids
6
ever
months
missed,
at
they would give it as
Son,
an incentive, like
Yeah.
somebody did all their homework
But
or
a
whatever.
free
They got to come over to the
law
trailer
degree
where,
from
where we
Harvard
were.
is a whole lot
Because we would give away a book every week too. So what book
to
you want?
pass up.
You
So I
get to take one
volunteered
home
for
and read
that.
it, right? Which is really cool. Incentive to want to read. And so we would get like
And
good
on the
students
day that I thought I was
that would
leaving
show up, and they were just, you know, reading at a very high
radio
level.
school
And I was like, okay, so
for
it's not just the kids that I'm working with.
New
Because
London,
those are the only
Connecticut
ones
for
I was
submarine
seeing on a
school.
day to day, and the other ones in the room. But then occasionally we would get the regular students and some of the
The,
better
Exos
students. They were very smart.
clerk
But it was an at-risk
sitting
school and
behind
all
his
that.
desk.
But it's a really good program if you have the time. It's an hour
Oh, here's your
to
orders.
an hour and a half a week.
Submarine School, New London. He proceeds to rip them up in front of me. Something, you know, that can't be my orders. That's got to be some kind of a stupid joke.
A joke, yeah. Right.
And he said, so don't get off the bus in New London.
Oh, cool.
Because then he makes a big deal out of fishing around in his file cabinet, and says, here's your new orders. Just stay on the bus for one more stop and get off in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh.
Right.
So I thought, you know what?
Yeah. Going into the library. What's that big building over there that we always...
Much as I would have liked
What
that
are they
free
doing
Harvard
there?
law degree, I have a feeling that
Yeah.
3 years as an officer is probably a whole lot better than 3 years underneath
Right.
the ocean.
Yeah, yeah.
My daughter,
What?
the library's trying a bunch of stuff, so they're doing which is good. A couple of charitable foundations. You can have meetings there at the libraries, and she was actually doing SAT test classes at the library. That was not from a library. It was I think the guy rented out the room or whatever, but it was all educational based and
Grand Turk,
stuff like that. So,
which I'd never heard of.
Oh, Grand Turk. Okay.
Turks
gotta
and
do something
Caicos
with those
Islands.
buildings.
I don't think anybody ever heard of it at that
I
time.
mean, it's a great resource
And,
if you use it.
In the meantime,
Two girls.
I had met a Navy nurse.
I have one that's a freshman
who
at
was going
UNLV,
through
and the other one is 24.
indoctrination program they do
And
at
she actually
Newport
works with
for
me.
new
Yeah, she graduated.
nurses or doctors or dentists.
Wasn't the plan.
We'll have
It kind of worked
to
out.
continue.
Go for it.
She's really good.
Okay. Everyone, of your attention forward, I'd like to call forward Janet Linder and Rosalie Hedrick for a special presentation, please.
Hi, everyone. I feel like I'm living up here, which I guess is a good thing because that means we're inducting new members again. And today we are inducting Maria Calvo, and we'd like to invite her sponsor up, which is Paul Kruger. So we will share your induction script. Are you ready? Okay. So on behalf of Rotary Club of Las Vegas, it is my privilege to induct a new member today. Please allow me to introduce, and we've already introduced you and Paul. You have been invited to membership, and our Rotary Club has accepted you as a person of good character, high ethical standards, a person who has the heart of service and will represent our club in the Las Vegas and Rotary community. We encourage you to learn all that you can about Rotary and to actively participate in the opportunities that our club has to serve those in need. Our Rotary motto is service above self and is the essence of our gathering. The members of our Rotary are people who believe the world understanding and peace can be improved through people united in the cause of service. Today, you have become one of those people. So we would like to extend to you a sincere and hearty welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary Club and the Worldwide Fellowship of Rotary International. So if everyone in the room would please stand and welcome our newest member, Maria Calvo.
Welcome, Maria. Okay, club announcements, please. Steve, ready to rock and roll?
Ready.
Please take the microphone to Jamel, please, about our canned food drive.
Hi, good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I just want to remind you that the canned food drive is still ongoing. This is a time where we can actually support our annual canned food drive. And we cannot beat with the Kiwanis this time. We have the green book that is, for donations. You can actually put your donations on the green book. Otherwise, you can also support our club events also. So we have an upcoming events for the canned food drive as well, which is the Halloween party and then the cigarette social. So if you cannot reach the green book, you can always approach Sean for donations. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take the microphone to Janet Linder for orientation wrap up.
Thank you, dear. Last Tuesday night, Stephen and I hosted the orientation, and it was our pleasure to do so. We had a great turnout. Stephen and I roasted a 16-pound beef brisket and had all kinds of goodies. And if you'll look on your second page in your wheel, there's a picture of all of us and our wine racks above at the very top of that picture. And when everybody left, half of that was gone. So we had a good time.
Thank you, Janet. Please take the microphone to Tony Kern, please, about our holiday party.
Good afternoon, everyone. On December 5th, the same day that we are doing Santa Claus, we will be having later in the evening our holiday party, Holidays with Mr. Harris. This year it will be held at the Dragon Ridge Country Club. It will start at 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. And you have all kinds of fun things that will occur. The dress is cocktail or themed attire. Oh. You know I don't like that. The members are free. Guests are, I believe, it's $75. So everyone be sure you sign up in the Green Book and attend.
Thank you, Tony. Please take the microphone, please, to Renee Gamero about our upcoming holiday party. Halloween party.
Fellow Rotarians, next Saturday is our Halloween party over at Russ Swain's house. Hi, Russ. Thank you for the house, and too bad you won't be able to join us. But next time, we promise we will only have 6 fire dancers at your place. And we're going to have, we already have music set up. Monster Mash will be included. That is confirmed. We have a buffet provided by, D.
Be with the Twist Catering.
Thank you very much. Be with the Twist.
Anil.
Thank you, Anil. And besides that, we're also going to have activities for children, kids' games, costume contest. It's $10 for adults, $5 for 12 and under, and we hope that you'll join us. There's a sign-up sheet also if you want to volunteer. There's one more spot to be a bartender, and I know that a lot of you are looking forward to that. Thanks.
Thank you, Renee. Please take...
That's President Russell. Renee told me he's having the fire department ready at your house.
I do have fire insurance, by the way, from GLB Insurance.
Uh-oh.
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 And that without the mic.
Uh-oh. Please take the microphone to Marie Walsh, please, about Breakfast with Books.
Marie?
Thank you, President Jackie. Before I start the totals for Breakfast Books, I just want to thank each and every Rotarian that came out and helped us last week. It was unbelievable. The first month, we only had 6 Rotarians, and this month, we had 16.
Hey, good job.
It was wonderful. I hope anyone that was new to Breakfast with Books enjoyed it. We invite everyone to come and be involved in this fantastic experience. No matter what we tell you about it, you need to come and be part of it to really know what we are involved in. And here are the totals. We had 143 children, 40 children under 5 years old, 17 Safe Key kids, 95 adults, with a grand total of 297 people.
Very good.
Which is wonderful. Really is wonderful. And I want to reiterate what Sharon said about our Harvest Festival. First of all, the candy was unbelievable that he brought in. Thank you so very much. And the festival, again, is October 18th. Anyone that would like to help could come and help that day. We need people to help set up, and then we need people from 3:30 to 6 help with the games. I'd be only too happy to take your names and would be happy to take your names even at the last minute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marie. Please take the microphone to past President Karen Wisenhunt about Open World next, coming up starting Friday.
Okay, good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm ecstatic. The Ukrainians are finally going to be here tomorrow. They arrive at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and they're hosted by host families, and some of which are from here, some are from other Rotary clubs. For the entire club, you are all invited to the hosted dinner at Tom Krob's next Thursday night, and it's at 6 o'clock. There's no charge for this, but it is potluck, so please sign up. It's going around in the Green Book. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Please take the microphone to Stu Lipoff about our upcoming Wine to Water.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, President Jackie. Kim is not here today, so he asked me to brief everybody. Anybody who attended the last event, this is the same event design. It's going to be on November 14th at 5:30 p.m. at Dave Lester's house. It's a $10 charge, which will cover food. But more importantly, everybody should bring 2 wines, one to share and one for the raffle. The raffle generates most of the profits. I believe there's a page in the Green Book that you can sign up. But even better, if you look up here on the screen, you don't have to wait for the Green Book. You can use your cell phone to do the little graphic that's in the wheel, or you can just surf to the fifth wheel at lvrotary.us, and all the events that are in the Green Book, including the Wine to Water, are there. Thank you.
Thank you, Stu. Is Eric Astromecki here? Who's here from the annual fundraiser committee that can talk about that for a minute? Anybody from the fundraiser committee? Richard.
We are doing the same fundraiser as last year. It will have a new name and a new logo, trying to update it and get it a little more punch than we had before. But we still have openings for anybody that would like to serve on the committee, the fundraising committee. And more importantly, I know people have complained that you're smarter, and you probably are, than I am. And so why can't you be one of the co-chairs of the fundraising committee? And so I'm thrilled to say we're opening up positions for co-chairs for this year's fundraising committee. And so if you'll please let me know if you'd be interested in being in charge of or co-in charge of the committee, fundraising committee for this year's fundraiser with Janice. Let me know, and we've got a spot for you. Thank you.
Thank you, President-elect Richard. Please take the microphone to Michael Williams, please, about our upcoming Peace Conference and TLC. Michael Williams? There he is.
Peace Conference is November the 16th, Treasure Island. We will have a speaker from the United Nations. We'll have a congresswoman there as well. It's only for about a half a day, and the price is $35. If you know any high school kids, it's going to be probably at least half of them will be high school kids attending this as well. So I'm reminded of what Gandhi said. He said, first we must be the change that we want to see in the world, which is why I come to Rotary every week, to meet all you people here every week. And TLC, everybody knows that's a weekend for 8th graders. And we go up to the Big Bear area, and it's 2 nights. We don't camp out. People think because they bring sleeping bags, we all camp out, and sometimes it snows up there. But they have actual beds in houses and everything, and so do the people. Anybody wants to sign up and help me do that, it would be great. You're away for 2 days, though, 2 nights up there.
And the date?
And I don't know, somewhere in January, I think.
No, December.
Oh, it is December. 6th or 8th.
December 6th through the 8th.
Yeah, so if you know any 8th graders, any cousins, any grandkids, kids that want to go, please give me their name, and they have first priority to go before we start taking kids, other kids from Clark County.
Thank you, Michael. Please take the microphone to Anil Melnick for the UNLV tailgate wrap-up.
Yeah, we had a great time. We had a wonderful attendance this year. About 45 people came out and had a lot of fun. And thanks to Russ with his brand new RV that he brought out. And I was amazed that Russ had the nerve to bring that RV out onto the dangerous streets of Las Vegas. But he assured me that it was adequately protected, and he felt confident about that. So I hope you can join us next year. Thanks.
Thank you. And the food was spectacular. Okay, please take the microphone, please, to past President Jim Hunt about our upcoming cigar social.
Thank you, President Jackie. Yes, we'll have our 19th cigar social coming up on October 25th. The winds are blowing in cooler air, but it's going to be beautiful on the patio of Randy and Sally Donald's home, about 6 p.m. I want to give a big shout out to Karen and Tom Wisenhunt, all these beautiful cigars that we're going to be giving to the troops when we have another one with them. But as always, if you're going to be coming, you don't have to smoke cigars. You can stay inside and enjoy the fellowship in there. If you do, we ask you bring one for yourself to smoke, one for the exchange, and one for the troops. So we're looking forward to that on October 25th. The sign-up sheet is going around, and Randy tells me that he's taken out a special fire policy with Russell Swain just in case there's any problems at that event, but we should be good.
Glad to hear that. Please take the microphone to Kirk Alexander about our upcoming super build.
All right, so we're going to do a project that starts at sunrise and doesn't finish till sunset on the 2nd of November. That's a Saturday. We're going to build a house for a family that has earned it. They've usually done between 1,500 and 2,000 community service hours in order to be even qualified to be picked for this project. There will be 7 separate projects going on that day through Corazon. District 5300 is only one of those 7. So it'll be a very busy day. A lot of happy homes will be built, and a lot of happy families that receive them. It's a life-changing experience. So consider joining us. It's a lot of work. We usually go in on Friday, the day before, and return on the Sunday following the build. So if you have any questions or need any assistance with anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you with it. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Now, please take the microphone to past President Jim Cole, please.
President Jackie?
What's that? Did you fall off your skateboard? What's that in the corner over there?
My crutches?
Yeah.
Yeah, was a little over exuberant kicking someone's ass in court the other day, and so I broke my foot.
Oh, my ears.
I had to have some surgery to fix an issue with one of the toes of my foot. So
well, I'm
trying to grow old gracefully and not limp around meetings.
Well, thank you for that, and thank you for your $97 contribution to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation.
Yeah, and just so you know, I had health insurance that was issued by GLBI.
Hand that microphone over to past President Russ Swain, please. Russ Swain. That's you. You get the microphone, briefly, albeit briefly.
Hello, President Jackie. What can I do for you?
Well,
I'll let Steve hold the microphone.
I was going to say that little plug that you did for your insurance agency, but you've made up for it by giving us free run of your home at the Halloween party and bringing that big-ass RV to the UNLV tailgate.
It's really a glorified bathroom for Rotarians out at the UNLV game. That's really what I'm good for one purpose, right?
Yeah, well, you still owe $97 to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation, and thank you very much. Goodbye.
I'm grateful to be of service. Thank you.
Okay, today's raffle drawing. 1,693 plus today's take to draw is 5330-612. 0612. Somebody's got it. Who's got it? Oh, Murray. All right. And for the Lowry Bucks is 533-0531-0531. Wow, we got to make a date to Lowry's here. Good going, girlie. Good job, Jamie. Okay, everyone. I would like to call up Dr. Annie Kuniyuki to introduce our speaker, please.
Good day, mates. We are really proud to have one of our own this morning, or this afternoon. Kimberly Broder started in Rotary with the Rotary Youth Exchange Program, spending time in Australia. This is something that has allowed her to grow not just from that experience, but to be a member of our own club. I want to point out that she spent time in Japan learning Japanese. And for me, wakarimasen. So I was really impressed to know that she was so committed that she wanted to go there to learn Japanese. She has been a part of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for just about 20 years. And she's here this morning to tell us about her experience with the Clark County Detention Center. So, Kimberly.
Thank you. But first off, I want to call out Bob over there, because I think I got a place for you now that you're dealing in diamonds. Okay. Do I have to use this mouse? So I'm going to talk to you about the Clark County Detention Center. It's actually a part of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and they combined, so we're commissioned with the police department. And a few of us have been going around to different areas and educating the community about what it is that we do. And the very first thing I want to show you is a little video here.
What brings you here today, ma'am? My boyfriend called the cops on me. I'm going to stand up to the tourists of this city. Let go with it. All right, take a deep breath, Julie.
They may put me in jail with, like, my who have murder charges and everything.
Hold still, Julie, okay? Let go. My arm! Let go of it!
You're the real Batman?
Well,
the real Batman?
I actually double for George.
Don't cry. Why are you crying?
We're going this way. Hold on, man. Keep your pants up.
I will admit I hit him, yes, but not today at all. Not one time. He's a compulsive liar, and I just now realized this after almost 5 years.
Homeless women with
your hand on your
head, sir.
Please!
Julie, I see your arm right here.
Hey, get up.
All right, mister. Good luck to you. Apologize. All right, guys.
Just get me out. Just get me out.
So our facility has been used as a place of entertainment. And, you know, while that's a little bit interesting, what's sad is that these are people's lives. And oftentimes until something happens to you or a family member, we don't think about the jail in our community. We think about the police officers. We don't think about corrections and what's going on in there and how it can affect our lives. So the purpose of our radio presentation is just to educate the public. Here's just a cute little picture about what people think corrections is, what our friends think, what the public thinks, and then what we actually do. So there's a difference between jail and prison. Prison means that you've been sentenced to a year or more of time. And if you've been sentenced to a year or less, then you will stay in our facility. But you will also stay in our facility until you go to court and you're either released or you're convicted. And we've had some people stay as long as 9 years fighting a murder charge. So we are accredited, and this is important because it means that we have particular standards. Our training is top-notch, our officers are top-notch, and we are allowed to get more grants. And essentially, our facility in Las Vegas does set the standard in the U.S. A lot of different agencies will come to us and learn our best practices, and so that's something that we're pretty proud of. So our corrections officers, they go through a 20-week academy, and then they have 10 weeks of field training, and they're trained in crisis intervention and suicide prevention, first aid, CPR, terrorist liaison, and then gang knowledge and intel gathering, to include tattoos, picking up on different vibes in the modules, different behaviors. You actually become quite attuned to that lifestyle. So as of August of this year, we booked in almost 7,000 people. We're a very busy facility. Of those, you can see 2,900 are felonies, almost 300 are gross misdemeanors, and almost 3,700 are misdemeanors. So we released almost 6,600, or 6,800, but there's that gap. And what's happening is more and more people are coming to our facility, and they are staying, because we're finding crime is actually going up. And so we need a place to house these people, and it's a constant challenge. You'll see here too, I find this to be very interesting. Most are sentenced to 156 days. They're only going to serve almost 59% of that sentence. So here's the different jail designs, and we have all of these in our facility. Old design is the linear. We have a lot of podular and direct inmate housing, and then we have dormitory housing. And if anybody was ever in the military, that's kind of the analogy as to how that dorm works. We have 3 facilities, the main one downtown across from the courthouse. We have Booking, North Tower, and South Tower. Then we have the North Valley Complex, which is directly across the street from the hospital out at Nellis. And then we also have the Tucker Holding Facility in Laughlin. This is our booking area. This is what I'm responsible for. And so you'll see that you have the pre-arrest area. They go through processing. They get their fingerprints, their mug shots. And then they go into open booking, where they're seen by medical, the psychologist, they're classified, and then they go into the holding cells. North Tower was built in 1984. It was recently renovated, and it's designed to house almost 1,500 inmates. All of the rooms are double occupancy since the renovation, and they are for male and female units. South Tower was built in 2002. It can also house about 1,500 inmates. This is the dormitory style. Here you can see one of the single rooms, because this is where we put our max inmates or juveniles who have to be housed alone. and maybe some psych inmates or something like that if they have to be housed alone. And when it says up to 74 per unit, that's with one officer. This is the North Valley Complex out there by Nellis, and this was built, it was built about 3 years before that, but we couldn't occupy it until 2011. That had to do with politics. And it can house almost 1,100. This is considered direct inmate supervision. You can see everything. So from the officer's podium, they can see everything that's going on in the housing units besides the bathrooms and showers. So some of the daily activities that they do, they have rec. I'll show you a video of that in a minute. They have TV, phone, library, free time. They have that in the morning, they have it in the afternoon, and then they have it at night. Alternatives to incarceration, otherwise known as house arrest. So currently, we have almost 1,000 inmates on house arrest. They were arrested, they're awaiting trial, sometimes they're sentenced, and the judge then orders them to go back into our community. And I think you would be pretty surprised to hear what some of these charges are and the crimes that they have committed. And they, like I said, they're back in our community. They have a little bracelet. We keep track of them through GPS. And while they're doing this, we do want them to become a part of some programs. The whole idea is to change behavior, teach them that there's a different way of life. So we have different programs like the Veterans Services, Hope for Prisoners, STARS, Urban League, and they're trying to give them skills so that they can choose to do something else in their life. WellPath is our medical provider. It's interesting to note about 33% of our inmates are on some type of a psychotropic medication. And then we refer them to other hospitals to get help with that or for competency hearings. Legal 2000 commitments, that's if they want to hurt themselves or others. And the only way that we can stop them when they haven't committed a crime is to force them to go into a psychiatric hospital. And unfortunately, we have an entire module full of youths. And these are juveniles that are being they're being charged as adults. So normally when juvies are arrested, they will go to the juvie facility. But when they're charged as adults, and that's generally involving murder and guns, then they will come to our facility. And like I said, it's unfortunate. We have an entire unit. CCSD comes, they go to school, or they'll get their GED. We're trying to give them life skills and teach them that there's a different way of living, that they don't have to live like that. We have inmate programs. Like I said, we want them to get their GED, their education, learn coping skills. We have NA, AA. We have a couple more than what's listed on here, but we try to engage their minds. And it seems like when they're in that structured environment, it's it's really easy for them to change their frame of mind and want to do different and better. The true test is when they get out, especially because they're going back to the same environment that they came from. We also try to teach them skills. We have partnered with some of the community, oh my goodness, lost my train of thought. They provide services that will teach them how to bake, how to do landscaping, just skills so that when they get out, they will have something that they can go and apply for and possibly even get some benefits. So like I said, we've actually had quite a few people go in the community and talk about what we do, and we've strengthened relationships with those different groups, and they've become a lot more active in our community. We have a new veterans unit, And that's something that's just started recently. So if you're a veteran, you can go to that unit and we'll help you set up your benefits or any needs that you have, because oftentimes they're not even aware that those things are even offered. And the other thing I want to mention is with UNLV, we actually have quite a few of the students. They'll come in and do an internship with us, and they will help with different projects or, different studies and whatnot, and I think that's something that's really good in our community. So I have another video for you, but if you don't want to see blood or anything like that, please look away. It's very quick, but we have this program within the department called Best of the Badge, and we recognize them once a year for outstanding acts that they've either done in the community to save lives, or if they were in a situation where their life was in danger. And this is one of my officers who is now in booking, and he got a Medal of Honor and the Purple Heart a couple years ago. So it's only going to take a minute.
He was trying to kill me. I mean, I don't have a doubt in my mind he was trying to kill me. He was in there. He already has a murder case. He was able to get behind me, put an arm, he had wrapped his arm around my neck, trying to kill me, trying to choke me out, basically. I was able to get out of that, regain control, took him to the ground, and by that time the sergeants had came, they got into the module, and basically that was pretty much it. I mean, I'm summing it up real quick. I mean, it seemed like it was forever while it was going on. Watching video seems like it took forever, but I mean, the whole thing it happened just in the blink of an eye. These aren't your friends. I mean, no one wants to come to jail in the first place. No one wants to be there. The whole time it's going on, you're just, your mindset's just getting out of it. End of the day, I'm going home with my family. So that was it.
So that incident happened in the South Tower in our open dorm unit. And I want to show you that because oftentimes when we go in the community, we talk about community, things that the community can do, and it's about trying to rehabilitate and teach the inmates to do something different with their lives. But sometimes it's challenging because these people oftentimes don't want to change the trajectory of their life. That's the biggest challenge. And so when you have incidences like this, and when you have people that are going into the community and, they're doing crimes, they're affecting people's lives, they're going into your home, sometimes we got to take a hard look at that and realize, it's a fine line because you do want these people to change. You don't want them to be in jail, but at the same time, they're draining our criminal system. We have to pay taxes so that we can keep them in there. And I think right now it is $179 a day for every inmate that we keep in the detention center. So it's a community problem. So I have one more video that I just want to show you. The National Geographic actually came in and they did a documentary. If you want to see this entire documentary, feel free. It is on YouTube. But I'm going to show you just the first couple minutes.
I got a bunch of felonies, possession for sales, possession of firearm, assault, battery, burglary, murder. This is it though, 40 life. So I think that's kind of hard to play with right there.
If you did the crime, you pay the price. It's my first time. There's serious charges, supposedly, and don't want to go to prison. But I gotta accept my consequences and do what I gotta do to get home.
I'm going home in 2 months, and some of these guys will never get out. There's a lot of hate, yeah. Anything's possible in here because it only takes one person. Something really small and stupid can just ignite a whole war.
Saturday afternoon at Las Vegas's main jail, and a fight has broken out in Unit 2P. Two inmates were sitting at a table when their conversation escalated into blows.
Belleville South Tower Unit officers 1073.
Everybody lay down, face down, guys.
Now the scene is being contained. But today's fight has everyone on edge.
Just lay down right there, man.
That it's a sign of things to come in a dorm like none before in the jail. Unit 2P is a test case, an open housing unit filled with high security inmates. Repeat offenders, felons, gang members, all called.
Okay, so if you want to see the rest of that, National Geographic documentary. So our facility is, like I said, because we have those standards, because we're so highly trained, and we see a lot of unique individuals in Las Vegas, we have a lot of film industries that want to come and see our facility, as well as other agencies who want to come and train with us. So there's a lot of information out there about our facility that, I mean, to be honest, we're pretty proud of in many ways as well. But it's a very unique environment. And so some of the challenges that I foresee in the coming years is, like I said, the amount of people that are actually going through our courts every day, especially on Mondays, because we have different events throughout the weekends. They're generally there over the weekend. They go to court first thing on Monday morning. And I know you've seen in the news, you know, some things that have happened by transport officers, and so we've had to change our tactics. And, you know, that's a drain on manpower. And then the other issues are if they're going to hire more cops and they're arresting more people, especially during field training when they got to be trained on how to do this, where are we going to house these criminals that are coming inside? So there's a few things that I just wanted to bring to your attention and to plant a little seed in your mind because these issues are not going to go away. And they're things that we need to talk about in the community. And I think really at the end of the day, that's all that I have. I just wanted to open it up for some questions.
Right here. You said crime is going up. What do you attribute that to?
A growing population and a lot of people coming over from California. And I don't mean normal people necessarily. I mean, it's very easy to drive, you know, up the 15, commit a crime. In fact, Bellagio faced this issue when they were stealing from the jewelry store, and they would leave town and go right back. So it's very hard to find an elusive person.
Kimberly, what kind of weapons do you wear in the actual place where the prisoners are?
Great question. So we have our handcuffs, we have our pepper spray, and we also have a taser.
So I think we'd all be really blind if we didn't realize that every night when you watch the news, there's a number of crimes that are committed, and it's very obvious that it's increasing in our community. But I'm just kind of concerned about, like, what the numbers are. What percentage is related to, I don't know, you know, like 50% to this, 25 to that, 30 to this? How is it broken down? Do you know?
I don't have those stats. That would be a great question for the sheriff. I don't know that verbatim because there's also a difference between, like, let's just look at murder, for instance. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between a crime of passion, which is, that's a rare occurrence. That's like a normal person who just reaches their breaking point, can't take anymore. They're probably never going to commit the same crime again, but they're going to pay for the rest of their life, versus somebody who is involved with a gang and they're doing it to become involved in the gang, or because they were told to do it, or it's their lifestyle. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Arregato Gonzalez. I know you've said several times the goal is to try and change the behavior and get them another path, but you have them only for a short time. like compared to the prison where they have the prison industries and they can do a lot of the stuff. Can you really get enough vocational training and, in there, or can you set things up so when they leave, they can continue that, even though you're short time with you?
Yeah, sure. So we offer these programs to people that are not sentenced, but most of these programs are for sentenced people. And yes, they will go on with the different groups of people in the community. They want them to continue on with their counseling or their training or whatever because they want them to get a job.
Because we're such a transient community, what kind of statistics do you have between residents and non-residents who are in your jail?
I don't know the exact figure, but I will tell you that we do get quite a few travelers. And not just U.S. citizens, but we get a lot of people from overseas. And especially like when their culture's different, they will come to jail for battery domestic violence because maybe in their country their rules are a little bit different and they don't realize here, we have standards and laws against that. So, we are a community that has a high amount of tourism, so you will see quite a few people, unfortunately, that will come to our jail.
Hi, Kimberly. Do you have any plans or projections for an additional facility? And if so, which tax area are you in, or who would be financing any additional growth?
I appreciate that question. I'm not sure about the next facility. To our NVC by the Air Force, but that would only house another 1,100 people maybe. But with our detention center, part of our money comes from the city and part of our money comes from the county. We are blended, unlike Metro, because the police department is 100% from the county. We're both. And sometimes getting that money from the county is challenging because their focus is on the police side. But you can't do your police work if you don't have the corrections work.
Kimberly, are the facilities, the two towers, divided by male, female, and the juveniles for the adult crimes by floor, or are they by the towers?
So our South Tower is more of that open dorm that you saw in that last video. And generally we get lower level offenders there, but it also houses our max units and our unit where they have more psych issues or they want to hurt themselves. And then that's also where our juveniles are housed. But it's not mixed up by male or female or ages or anything. And in fact, we change it periodically depending on how many max custodies we have or close custodies versus minimum custodies because it'll fluctuate, and then we have to change our modules. North Tower, almost everybody's behind the door. It's not open bay like that.
Hi, I was just curious, what on earth are you wearing in all those little leather things on your belt, and how much does all that weigh?
Yeah, so I have keys, I have my gun, I have my baton, I have handcuffs, I have my pepper spray, I have my magazines. I think that's about all that will fit on my belt.
So,
oh yeah, my taser.
Kimberly, 3 questions. 1, when are you running for sheriff? 2, with all the international travelers, how do you handle people who don't speak English? And then 3, can you talk a little bit about human trafficking?
So I'll start with the international travelers. It's so common with us that we have the system just set up. We actually have a lot of people in our facility that speak another language, thankfully, so we will call upon them often. Otherwise, we have a language line. And, certain countries, we have to notify them. And so we do, and then their consulate will reach out to them and help them with an attorney and the court process and all of that. And as far as human trafficking goes, so it's challenging, especially in Las Vegas, because we still have the same problem where people will come in for a week or a weekend, especially depending on what convention is in town, and then they're gone. So they're not here for very long, and again, you're kind of fighting that elusive criminal, that pimp or whomever, and we know it happens. It's a fact. And like I said, it's a challenge. So we have programs in place. About 3 years ago, there were different community groups that came together. And like when the guy from DHS was here speaking, he's actually taking a seat at that group because it's something that they discuss. But again, the challenge is, number one, making them aware that there's a different lifestyle out there, that they don't have to live like that, especially when it's fast money. And then number two, showing them that if they did want out, there are resources for them and that we are there for them and can help, change their lives and their situation. It's unfortunate, though, because a lot of those girls, they'll come in with the name of their pimp on their face, on their arm, or they'll have their pimp X'd out on one arm and then another pimp, tattooed on the other arm. They are all marked up. And the very young girls, it's very hard to reach out to them because the pimps know that, we want to find them. We don't want them doing this. So it's a challenge.
Thank you very much. President Jackie has indicated that we are at the end of our question session.
We are. Come on over, Kimberly. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Kimberly. I just wanted to let you know that we are going to present you with our Share What You Can award, which means we're giving a donation to the local USO in your name. And thank you so much for very interesting. Everyone, be sure to take your rosters home with you. I know some of them are under your chairs, so make sure you don't leave without them. In the words of a woman I most admire, Amelia Earhart, no kind action ever stops with itself. One kind action leads to another. Let's leave today building connections, taking kind action, and serving one another, and rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Meeting adjourned.